Let's try this again. I'm Dan Labbe. He's Chris Fedor. This is Sports Insider, and I think we still have a good show for everyone today. Chris Haynes, Paul Hoynes, Mary Kay Cabot are our guests. We're also going to be joined by Dave Hunt of Hunt Auctions. He's going to tell us about a little event going on during the MLB All-Star Game just down the road in Cincinnati. So we'll talk to him. He's got some things to show us. Let's get right to it. Let's bring in Chris Haynes, somewhere between California and Las Vegas right now, driving to Summer League, joining us via phone. Chris, how are you?
Doing all right, guys. Thanks for having me on your wonderful, excellent show.
Of course. Chris, this DeAndre Jordan thing that went down last night, it seemed like he was going to sign with Dallas. Then the Clippers converge on his house, kind of keep him there until he signs his contract with the Clippers. One of the more bizarre NBA free agency stories that really has ever happened.
That is a 30 for 30 just waiting to happen. You know, that whole committing to the Mavs, having second thoughts, and calling the Clippers, and Doc getting all the boys rounded up, Paul Pierce signing there with the intentions of playing with DeAndre Jordan, and then finding this out, and then they all just go out there. And then the whole emoji thing that just took over of Twitter. It truly should be in a documentary form, like not now, but like right now. This is something that has to be told. We need inside depth analysis. We need everything to go along with that motion picture, because that was clearly the most entertaining sequence of events we've seen on Twitter probably in life ever.
Chris, you have to help me with something, though. I know Paul Pierce has mad game when it comes to on the court. Can you explain his emoji game going with the rocket ship? What's he doing putting a rocket ship out there? I don't get that one.
I don't even know how he got that on Twitter. Is there an emoji for that? Like to put that? I don't know where he got that. That was. You can tell his Twitter game is lacking. Hey, but the one I love was Rod Woodson, the assistant coach for the Clippers, putting out a swimming emoji, like a person swimming, like on his way. That was crazy. That was some of the most entertaining social media interactions I've seen in a while, man. That was definitely classic. And I mean, you know, but hey, just talking about how DeAndre handled it. Look, I have no problem with a young guy having change of heart, change his mind. That's it. You know, there's no, you know, like it or not, it was a verbal agreement. Yes, you don't like for people to change course or renege, but it was a verbal agreement. It's that he didn't have his John Hancock written down. Mm-hmm. With that being said, I do have a problem with the way DeAndre handled it, not contacting the Mavs, not being up front and letting them know that, hey, I'm going to reverse course. You know, give the organization the respect and allow Cuban and those guys to move on and try to make amends of what has just been a catastrophe for them. So that's the problem I do have. Not with his decision-making, but just the way he handled it.
It looked like Paul Pierce went to Google Images and just found a rocket ship. All right, let's look at the Cavaliers. Kevin Love, of course, signed his contract today, but the guy everybody's waiting for, Chris, is Tristan Thompson. It appears that both sides are sort of in an impasse, and neither side is really in a hurry to meet the other side.
Yeah, we'll see who gets their way. I got my opinion on that, but you know, I mean, who, you know, we knew this was going to take a while. I mean, I obviously have. You look at Rich's representatives' track record. Mm-hmm. Rich Paul, Mark Termini, those guys are some hounds when it comes to negotiating contracts and trying to get the best possible deal for their clients. So, you know, I knew this. And then when I got word, even before free agency started, I got word of, you know, LeBron was going to wait until everybody else was signed. I knew. I'm like, okay, this is set the table up for a long, expensive process. I still think and believe that a deal will get done relatively soon. Mm-hmm. I'm not so confident in that, but that's the way I feel right now because sides are not that far apart. You know, I think, you know, I know Tristan Thompson and those guys want Draymond Green type of money. They may end up getting it. The Cavs right now are a little bit reluctant to, so we'll see who folds in the end.
Chris, I'd love to just tell Rich and Tristan Thompson, look, man, you want Draymond Green money? Sure, that's fine. Why don't you play like Draymond Green then? Why don't you have the kind of impact for your team that Draymond had? It's very, very frustrating.
Well, they have different impacts for their team. If Draymond was with the Warriors, his impact probably wouldn't be, as impactful as it would be if he was with the Warriors. And that's the same thing with Tristan Thompson. So, look, is there another team that's going to offer Tristan more money than the Cavs? Probably not, because probably would have had an offer sheet out there already. But, they're going to use what they have. The leverage that they have. They know LeBron James wants this guy back in the fold, and they know, Rich represents both guys. So, like I said, we'll see who pays. And as of right now, my money is on Rich and those guys coming through with a pretty awesome deal for Tristan.
Chris, are we at a point yet, though, where it's affecting the Cavs doing business with other free agents?
No, I think because you can, like Mo Williams and those guys, they've been wanting Mo for a while. I've talked about it, written about it. They tried to see about obtaining him in the middle of last year when he was with the Minnesota Timberwolves, and Mo Williams was possibly going to negotiate a buyout, and the Cavaliers would have been that team. They got guys, even right now, I wouldn't be surprised if they have a guy right now that's waiting in the wings that has already agreed, but they got to wait till these other dominoes fall into place before they sign those guys. So I wouldn't say it's hindering them, because you have to multitask the free agency. You can't just stick to one guy and try to hammer out that guy. They're talking with Dellavedova, J.R. Smith, and probably a couple other guys to make sure they're still ready to be in the fold once they get things situated with Tristan.
Chris, what does adding Mo Williams mean for J.R. Smith? Because obviously Mo is a guy that can shoot. He can hit shots consistently. Kind of can fill that J.R. Smith role a little bit off the bench. Does it mean anything for him?
Look, the Cavs can probably try to use that as leverage, but they're two different players. Yes, Mo can light it up and score in bunches, but they need Mo more so as a backup point guard, facilitator, player like that. You still need that gunner in J.R. Smith. But by having Mo on the roster, you can say, hey, J.R., we can't pay you what you think you should be paid. But what we can offer you is a great opportunity to contend for a championship. And if you take less money or even less years, this will still be a good fit for you. So I think they still want him, but I think they're going to use Mo as a way of saying, hey, we'd like to have you, but, as you see, we don't need you, but we'd like to have you. So I think that's fair. But they do want him back.
Earlier today, Kevin Love on the Players Tribune did a video. He said his contract is inked and ready to go. He's looking forward to recovering from his shoulder injury and getting back to just playing basketball and not worrying about all those ancillary things. He also mentioned in that video, though, Chris, that his conversation with LeBron James poolside, the well-publicized one, he said that was important, that him and LeBron had some honest conversations. What do you think those conversations were like? What do you think they were talking through this offseason?
I don't know. I would just be speculating. I think it was telling that he said he reached out to LeBron James. Right. I know everybody started jumping out saying, I thought LeBron was not going to recruit anybody. That was important that Kevin Love made that clear, that it was him that reached out to him, and they happened to be in L.A. at the same time. And so they were able to talk about some things. I mean, like I said, I don't know. Obviously, they're not the best of friends. Obviously, they didn't get along well off the court, as fans would hope. But I just think that these are two grown men, two great basketball players who want to win a championship. And so I think they're talking about all of those things and what it's going to take to move forward to that type of success and get along on the court. And so I think that's all it was all about. If I would say anything else, I would be speculating. But, I think they understand that they need each other to obtain that goal. And that's good for the Cavaliers organization.
So that being said, Chris, last question. Is there any chance, 2-3 years down the road that Kevin Love is not with the Cavaliers?
Yeah, there's a chance of that. There's definitely a chance of that. Everybody can get traded. And, it's going to, of course, have to be with the Cavaliers' decision if they're going to move him or not, because Kevin Love has a player option in the final year of the deal. But we'll see, man. They traded him and gave away a franchise player in Andrew Wiggins, you have to kind of see this thing through long term. I don't see a scenario where, unless his game just falls off dramatically, I don't see a scenario where they'll give up on him relatively soon.
All right, that is Chris Haynes, our Cavaliers beat reporter. He's en route to Las Vegas. He'll have complete coverage of the Vegas Summer League and whatever else happens with the Cavaliers between now and the beginning of the season. It's been a fun offseason so far. Thanks for the time, Chris.
Anytime, guys. Take care.